Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1299. I feel like shit. It is a hangover edition of Hobby Evolution. We did the old sip and stroll last night, which is basically just a bar crawl. However, it's not truly a bar crawl because we weren't crawling necessarily to bars. There's only how many true bars did we hit up? Two? Three. There's only like three bars in downtown Middleton, Wisconsin. But it's put on by like the chamber, basically like the Chamber of Commerce type deal. I don't think it's actually the Chamber of Commerce, but it's a similar organization for business development. Which is actually, once we got going, my buddy, his wife couldn't go, so he's like, "Hey, you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, sounds fun." And once we started doing it, like the first couple spots was like, this is kind of weird. Like the first spot was that we went to, and you could basically you sign in at like the bank, and then you have a map, and you hop. There's 20 spots. We went 20 for 20. I think about spot 16, my buddy's like, dude, you got to pace yourself. I'm like, oh, I've been drinking all the beers. Whoops. So the first couple spots was the first spot that we went to was like a bubble tea place. And it was non-alcoholic, which actually, like, in hindsight, because that's the first stop, it's like, oh, boo, non-alcoholic. But it was nice. I mean, it was nice to sprinkle some of that in. So anyway, so that was a stop, and then our second stop was like a salon, like a hair salon, and then our third stop was, where was the third stop? Across the street. Oh, the Greek Mediterranean restaurant. So and then there was they had some good and they all the stops had like appetizer type deal. So you ate. And basically the beers were just your standard, nothing. There's no brew. Well, it's funny. Capital Brewing is like right around the corner, but that wasn't a part of it. But anyway, what was great about it is I'm in downtown Middleton every day, every single day. I mean, it's just a couple miles down the road. My post office is right there, right next to all these places. Our favorite sushi place, our favorite noodle place, where my wife and I had our first date is down there. So a lot of like my favorite dive bar, which is like this Village Green dive bar right in the middle of all these bougie upscale boutiques. But there's a lot of like boutiques and little things in downtown Middleton that I'm not aware of, because why would I be? But my wife and I have like three restaurants that we go to. It's like we have our sushi place downtown Middleton. Across the street, it's the noodle place, and then over in a different place is the Mexican place. And that's like it. That's like our rotation. It's like, well, do you want this? No. Do you want this? No. Do you want this? No. Okay, we're out of options. Frozen pizza tonight. But there is a new a restaurant. It used to be the restaurant used to be called like K Peppers, and it was, I don't know, like a spicy restaurant, I guess. I don't know. I just assumed it was spicy because of the pepper name. But it's now a Peruvian restaurant, and they had like empanadas, and they were really good. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put this in the rotation and see if it gets added. So and then we went to there was it's called like I think it's called the Regal Find, which I just thought it was some like, where women go and shop, which I think it is. But around Christmas time, I need to get some of that stuff, right? So they had some funny stuff. They had I took photos. So they had some funny like let's see. Where's my photos at? My dog is my therapist socks. My dog and I talk shit about you. And then for my mom, my cat is my therapist. So it's like, hey, they had a bunch of other like random things in there. And so it's like, hey, Christmas coming up. I know where to shop for mom. And what else? There was another place. There was like a men's store. It's like a rustic outerwear and stuff, which I typically don't. I'm not into that sort of thing. But they had some like cool items in there. So it was nice to see different things in downtown, and it was fun. And I drank a lot of beer, and I'm feeling it today. Really feeling it today. One of the beers at Barrique's was one of the stops. And Barrique's was one of my hangouts when I first moved here. There was a period of 2 or 3 weeks before I had internet. And I would go to this Barrique's coffee shop and use their Wi-Fi. And they had like a 12% like pumpkin ale. And it's like, oof. I think that was like stop 6. And I think that's when my buddy was like, you got to pace yourself. You don't have to drink all of the beer. And I'm like, wait, what? And I think that actually I might have drank all of that one. It might have been the next stop where I'm like, okay, you're onto something. That one hit. So I came home and we had, fortunately, our wives, we're our DDs. My wife drove us down, and then my buddy's wife picked us up. And I got home, and my wife's like, "You're drunk," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am." It's one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to drink for a while. Oof. So, and then they had door prizes at the Village Green was like the last stop. It didn't have to be the last stop, but we made it our last stop because we were going to have another beer. And so we hit that place, and that was kind of the final, like they hosted like the quote after party and did like giveaways. I did not win anything, but then they were giving away random things. What I can't even remember what I picked up. Either a koozie or like a stocking hat, I think. So yeah, that was my night. That was my night in downtown Middleton. Drunk Bo was out last night. Haven't showered yet. I'd like to take another nap, or I'd like to take a nap. So we'll see. It's Friday. We're going to play Name That Player. I was laying in bed this morning thinking, oh my God, I don't want to get up. This is a perk to working for yourself from home. Now, you're in charge of making your own income. But if you're hungover, you can like take it easy. Like I wouldn't have to go into the office and be like, oh, I feel like shit, and just be dreading the entire day. I can just go take a nap if I want to. But I've got work to do, but I will take a nap. It's Friday. We're going to play Name That Player. It's a football edition because I just had a football box behind me and I kind of feel like shit. So it's all football, and it's mostly modern football. So those into modern football, it might be your day. Dat dude from Duryea is here. Good morning. Mr. Archer's in the house. Good morning. Uncle Rich is here. Good Friday Morgan to you. Harlan's in the house. Good morning. Tracy is here. What's happening? Philly Joe is here. Good morning. Mikey's in the house. Good morning. I hope you're having a great day. I'm having a hangover day. I am not having a great day. Not having a great day yet. Hopefully I can turn it around. Good Friday to all my hobby friends. What's up, Brian? John's in the house. I was able to squeeze in another session with the bidet due to your tardiness, already dreading flying back to the States today. Are you going to put a bidet in your home? You could do that. Hindsight. Bargain Boxer's in the house. What's going on? I got a sneeze coming on. Ooh, excuse me. Bargain Boxer says, I'm not collecting right. I'm trying to build my collection through the C's, card shows and card shops. I should be building my collection through the G's, garage sales, and Goodwill. Hey, you could do that. You could do that. You could do that. Donald Davis, what's up? Good morning. George says, nothing like the shot of water up the ass in the morning. There you go. Good old hit from the bidet. Mikey says, I got a blood blister on my middle finger at work last night. Uh-oh, that's not good. George says, should have sprayed it with pleasure spray. Keeps the blisters away. Zach says, dude, you need to pace yourself. Bo most likely, listen, pal, I've collected 1 million Cubs cards and host a daily YouTube show which averages nearly 400 views. This is my speed. Yeah. Oopsie. Mikey says, I can show it off and flip people off. I don't like it at the same time. There you go. Johnny Boy Cards, good morning. Let's go Yankees. Did they win last night? Did they move on? Damn. I haven't been paying attention to the baseball playoffs. Zach says, Mikey, 8 think you already know what type of lotion spray to apply to that for healing. Mikey's going to try it. Offbeat All-Stars in the house. Good morning. He received the cards he bought from me. Awesome. Thank you. 7 or more cards, 25% off. Yeah, hit that eBay store, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more cards at regular price in the Buy It Now section. You'll save 25% off. And don't forget about my auctions. I got a new batch of auctions that went live last night. Some 80s baseball. Let's see. I've got some Pete Alonso, First Bowman Matt Chapman. Some Griffies went live last night. Some George Bretts, a 78 tops Pete Rose, and a 78 tops Thurman Munson. I've got an 81 Donruss Nolan Ryan went at auction last night. George Brett, Johnny Bench, Pete Rose, Tim Raines rookie card, Mike Schmidt, Reggie Jackson, even a Rhino. These are all live at 99centcards.com. Auctions started last night, 99 cent starting bids. Jackson Merrill. You know, these like Topps retirement. This Ozzie Smith is already at $4. Wow. Let's see. There's Alex Bregman rookie. I got a Doc Gooden Donruss rookie. This is such a cool card. 85 Donruss, Pete Rose with the Montreal Expos. There's a Roger Clemens rookie, an Eric Davis rookie, Kirby Puckett rookie. I got some Jeter, at least one Jeter. Cal Ripken Jr., a Leaf Deion Sanders rookie card. Ohtani, another Jeter, Deion rookie from Upper Deck. Another Jeter. Even got some vintage, Hank Bauer. 90 Leaf Sosa, Lou Brock Cards Clubber. So those are all at 99-cent auctions. They started last night at 99centcards.com. George says, Mikey offering up the free bird today. Free bird. Brian's Nolan Ryan count is now 1,376. Wow. Very nice. Boston Smokes in the house. Good morning. Orlando is here. Good morning. George says, Bo was drunk last night. I'm drunk right now. Hey, it is the freaking weekend for George. Mikey says, how many people did you get at the coffee shop when you went during the 3 weeks? How many people did I get? Did I meet? Did I get? I don't know. I don't know. Terry's in the house. Good morning. Zach says, did you and your wife make out on the couch, drunk cuddling, yelling Ernie to go in the other room because he thinks you were attacking her? Nope, that didn't happen last night. Max says, exactly why I stopped drinking. Glad I don't much anymore. Yeah, I mean, the good part of like not drinking much anymore is I don't feel like this. But today I do. It was a special event. I'm glad I went. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Maybe I should have paced myself more so than what I did. But it was enjoyable. George says, I remember the days of having friends in town that were drinkers. It was fun roaming from round to round on the weekends. John says, George, shot. I emptied the entire clip this morning. Porter's in the house. Good morning. I'm up early doing a little couch listing. Hey, can't beat that. Uncle Rich says, thanks so much, Bo, for modern football. You bet. It's not too modern. Well, I don't know. What do you call like? It's not ultra modern. Is ultra modern like the now? Is that what we call the now? This is a few years. Maybe one player is still in the NFL, but I don't think any of these guys are actively playing. It's modern-ish. George says the best way. Did you put kick into pulsating mode? That's when the good stuff happens. Talking bidet talk. I vacillate between swirl and massage mode. I've got a runny nose. George says, sounds like you have a winning combination on that contraption. I think I've got some. All right. I had a lot of snot up there, man. Uncle Rich says, yes, beloved Yankees moved on. Hateful Phillies lost. So Yankees and Mets still alive. Wow. Damn Yankees. Double A Cards, good morning. Happy Friday. Mikey says, hopefully Yankees move on and crush overrated Ohtani. John says, it won't be too long before the women in Mikey's life won't allow him to hang with us. Max says, Diddy had bidets. Did he have bidet parties? Bidet, Diddy bidet. John Myers, what's going on? Thank God it's Free for All Friday. Kyle's here. Good morning. Brian's in the house. What's up? Mikey says, I will always hang out with you guys. I love this show. Thank you, Mikey. We will always hang out with you. Bruce, 3-1, Yankees won. We got some Yankees fans in the house. Lofi Joe, good morning. Mikey says it was your frat party weekend last night and don't know where you wake up at in the morning. I wasn't that bad. I knew where I was. I knew I was drunk. Max says, whoa, Ohtani is not overrated. If anything, he's underrated. I would agree he's not overrated. I don't think he's necessarily underrated. I think Ohtani is properly rated. I think Ohtani is properly rated. I mean, he is the best player in baseball, in my opinion, right now. And he could go on to be the greatest, the GOAT. Ohtani, the GOAT. Brian says, a bidet a day keeps the stink nuggets away. I like that. That should be a shirt. A bidet a day keeps the nuggets away. Bidets can tickle the taint. Ooh. Max says, not pitching, yes, properly rated. Yeah, I mean, if he does come back and dominates as a pitcher like he dominated when he was pitching, sky's the limit. One of the best pitchers, too. I know you like to keep them separate. Yeah, I do keep them separate. You got to keep them separated. Hey. So that's about all I had. My head's a little foggy this morning. Hey, we're gonna play Name That Player though. Coming up on Sunday, I'll be at the Janesville Card Show. I've got quite the stretch run here over the next few weeks. Janesville Card Show is Sunday. I will be set up. I'll have I think I'm gonna have dime boxes Sunday, Janesville, Wisconsin, and dollar boxes. I might take binders because I've had success selling like the baseball card album binders, and I've just got the cards. I might just slap a price tag. I don't think I'm going to bring a whole bunch, but I'll bring some, see if they sell. So I'll bring those. So this Sunday, Janesville. A week from Saturday is next Saturday already. It's a quick turnaround for the Madison Card Show. The Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. It's next Saturday, October 19th. Sold out show, 140 tables, 2 ballrooms, Williamson Ballroom in the first floor, upstairs, the mezzanine, and the Capitol Ballroom. Free admission, 9 to 3, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. Next Saturday, October 19th for the Madison Card Show. And then I have an open weekend. The last weekend in October is an open weekend. And then the following weekend, I jump on a plane on Friday and fly to OKC I'm going to hang out with Cooter for the weekend. We're going to drive down to Dallas on Saturday. What is that? Saturday, November 2nd. And we're going to hang out at the Dallas Card Show. So that's the first weekend in November. And then I might have like a Rockford card show in there somewhere in there the second weekend. I can't remember what their schedule is. But then I'll be set up for a day. I'll be set up Sunday at the Chicago Sports Spectacular, thanks to my buddy Wally. He's going to the Packers game. He's like, hey, do you want my table on Sunday? I'm like, sure, yeah. Because I was thinking, I'm like, I get to come down. It depends on what I do in Dallas, what I buy in Dallas. But okay, free table, sure. So I'll go down on Saturday afternoon, do a little shopping, have some steak at Gibson's on Saturday night, and set up at the Spectacular on Sunday. And then the following week is Thanksgiving, and then that's the Madison Card Show on Saturday, November 30th, I believe. So busy stretch. Dallas, Chicago, Madison, Janesville, a busy few weeks. Max says, Chicago Collecticon this weekend. Sucks I'm missing 2 regular shows. So you're missing Janesville. What's the other show on? I assume Saturday there's a show somewhere. Is Stevens Point this weekend? Zach says, Jose Ramirez is not rated accurately. Is he underrated or overrated? Brian says, do Sunday shows get similar attendance to Saturday shows? I don't do many Sunday shows. I think Janesville's the only Sunday show I do, and it gets great attendance. I was not a big fan of Sunday shows. When I started the Madison Card Show, there were 3 reasons why I started the Madison Card Show. Number 1 was we needed a bigger space. There was a show prior to my show in Madison. It was in a small, it was in one of those conference rooms of a hotel. There was 12 tables. You could not, if you had a big dude looking through cards, you could not squeeze. It was single file around the room. That's how small it was. And it's I want to dig through bargain boxes. There was no space. You could not sit down at the previous show that was in Madison and look at a bargain box. It was also the hour. It was 10 to 2. It was short and on a Sunday. And I don't prefer. Zach prefers Sunday shows as a buyer. And I didn't. I was on the other side. And it's you know what? And they were still running that show when I started the Madison show. I'm like, well, we'll do a Saturday show. And, and you can do the Sunday show. And so those were the reasons why. Now as a dealer, I actually kind of like Sunday shows. It gives me Saturday because I'm usually, and I know everybody's different. Zach prefers Sunday shows. Max loves Sunday shows. I'm singing a different tune. I actually like Sunday shows now. The Janesville show has great attendance on Sunday. It's typically a Sunday show, and I love it. I was very concerned about when Mike and John, who run Janesville, Rockford, and they also do some shows in the suburbs, Chicago suburbs. They started one in St. Charles, Illinois, at the Kane County Fairgrounds. It was the Sunday. It was Packers Bears opening weekend last year, and I'm like, this is going to be awful. This is not going to be good. I'm driving all the way down. It was amazing. It was an amazing turnout. So Sunday shows are, you get the same. You might actually get more traffic at a Sunday show because football season, it's gonna really die off around noon, especially if your local team's playing. But Janesville hasn't been that way. It'll be interesting, although the Bears play in the morning, so it'll be interesting to see what turnout will be this Sunday with the Bears playing first thing in the morning over in London, I think. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Sunday shows. 3 years ago, I was not, but I am today. So Yeah, I'm a fan, and I think they get similar attendance, if not even maybe a little bit more. Because here's the thing you work with, especially in the summer months, with a Saturday card show, you have to compete with like most like soccer leagues, like little kids soccer, baseball, whatever sport they're playing. Most of that stuff's on Saturdays. Whereas Sunday, it's like it's the Lord's Day, so nobody does anything on Sundays except for me, and I think many of us. So it's like maybe 50 years ago, or wasn't too many card shows 50 years ago, but maybe 30, 40 years ago, church would keep people away from the card show, but that's not the case. It's hustling and bustling on Sunday shows. George says, where is the Collecticon located? The local penal facilities. Where is Collecticon? Is it in Rosemont? Is it at the Stevens Convention Center? John says, imagining the car farts between the two of you on that drive to Dallas. Yeah. Especially after eating barbecue or pizza. Oh, yeah. Gonna stink up the joint. George says, set up outside the gate and wait for release. Zach says, Max, wear your body armor in Chicago. I hear it's the most dangerous place on earth. Max says, Appleton is doubled up with Janesville. Aha. Zach prefers Sunday shows as a buyer. Dan says, on Earth, in the galaxy. Dangerous Chicago. Max loves Sunday shows 10 times better. George says, I'm more scared of choking on a chicken bone in Korean fried chicken than the streets of Chicago. Chicago. That should be a movie name. Chicago. John says Sundays would depend on the time of year, I reckon. Yeah, I think that's football season. You're gonna see some die off earlier than what you normally would. But that as I say that, it's like I'm thinking like some of the shows that I've done on Sunday, it hasn't really been the case. Brian says Sunday venues typically cheaper too. Absolutely. Zach says it's a war zone. Big reason why the underrated Ohtani went to safer Los Angeles. Didn't want to get murdered in Wrigleyville. Lofi Joe says, wonder if the Sunday shows are less frequent historically due to religious services, but now is just more habit. And I think that's probably, 40 years ago, I think there were probably more church-going people than what there are today. Uncle Rich says, my synagogue show has always been a Sunday show, but I prefer Saturday myself. Interesting. George says, Ohtani has the Yakuza on his side. They would handle the situation. Uncle Rich says, but the rooms are usually cheaper on Sunday for the promoters. Yeah. At least back in the day. And I think I could probably get my rooms cheaper, although I probably could. I think that was because we talked about that, but I mean, I got the first year coming off COVID, we got such a sweetheart deal. And they've significantly raised prices. Rosemont is where Collecticon is. John says, just booked my second set of rooms for the Nationals. There you go. 2 reservations at 2 different hotels now. Wow. Need plural rooms for plural Nationals. Hunting season as well. Actually, that here in Wisconsin, that does take people away. I remember one of the first year, I think I had 3 dealers have to skip a show because it was the opening week of hunting. And I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't realize I had to compete with that. But you do. Now I don't have that issue. But back in the day when we were, struggling to fill tables. Zach says, I will drive down each day for the National. None of the ORD hotels have bidets included. You have to hire someone to come in and do it for extra. Less money for cards. A decision was made. That's a wise decision. I like that. John says, fewer weddings on Sundays, which matters. Hotels make a killing off weddings. That's why my prices at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nola Drive are so high, because I have to compete with weddings. And that's why the third room, they're like, they can use that for their food and beverage stuff. And they're like, well, if you put the $4,000 or $5,000 deposit down, I'm like, no, I don't make that much on the room. I make, what's in there, 30 or 40 tables at $50. It's like, nope, not going to do that. Zach says church, Kiwanis, Rotary, all meeting type scenarios that haven't figured out how to attract a younger audience. It's a good point. Yeah, I went in. I had a client, a local client, that they did basically. They had it was like a committee off of the local. Was it Kiwanis or Rotary? I think it was Rotary. Yeah, it was Rotary. The Breakfast Rotary Club, and so they would collect textbooks and send them to Africa and other nations that needed books. And so I was invited a couple times to the Rotary, and quite the older audience at Rotary. I think my aunt's big into Rotary, and well, my aunt's old too. So Kyle says hunting season causes my card hobby to mostly pause. There you go. Hunting season impacts a lot. If a dad's daughter is getting married on hunting weekend, he will get caught up when he gets back from deer camp. George says to attract a younger audience, you got to yell, "Let's go! Let's go!" Max says, I was at a shareholders meeting this week where the board was saying how they want to attract younger investors. Maybe by not requiring landlines for starters. That's a good start. Dave Arnold. Hey, I'm repping Bushnell Prairie City today. BPC. It's WIU homecoming weekend. Go Leathernecks. Hey, they've won 2. The WIU Leathernecks had lost how many games in a row? Like 27 games in a row they lost. Now they've won 2. The first game they beat like a Division II team. They're Division I. And then last Saturday they actually beat a Division I team. So go Leathernecks. Beat the world. Who do they play tomorrow in their homecoming game? I was in Macomb for how many homecomings? 10, 12, 2013 to 2013. So 10 or 11 homecomings. I don't remember most of them because I got drunker than bar crawl. Drunker than a bar crawl. Zach says, on the other hand, FanDuel, Kevin Hart, and legalized gambling everywhere will keep 12-step gambling programs stacked 5 to 10 years from now. That's a good point. That's a good point. Did he do Kevin Hart? Probably. On the bidet, I hear. John says, I used to do lighting for the Elks National Conventions. They were the next level beyond old. Pre-war, I suppose, is the best way to describe them. Our Elks Moose Lodge... I don't think we had Elks where I grew up, at least in the towns over. We had the Moose Lodge, which I suppose is probably the same thing. Max says, all the groups mentioned are just all superficial places to advertise your business is all. That is exactly what they are. Besides church, you're forced to be nice to a room of people you don't give a fuck about. And I think that's with church also. So there you go. Let's play Name That Player. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I got to get my YouTube out. Let's put up the scoreboard also. Name that player. We've got a tight race at the top of the leaderboard. Max has the lead over Uncle Rich, 31-28. Michael Renicky making a push. He's got 25 points. Card Hobbyist hanging out at 18 points. Let's see. Where are we at? Zach says Hobby Evolution included in that group. George says, I got a lot of text messages coming in. Where are we at? George says, I'm going to start the dislodge when this constipation breaks loose. All right. Make sure I'm going to hit the like button. There we go. Hit the live chat. All right. Now we are good to go just about. I'm not invited to my alma mater. Apparently, my tuition-free ride was part of the a fraud the college was perpetrating on the state of Ohio. I got my degree 2 months before it was exposed. Orlando said, let's play. Let's go. George, there's a setting for that. That's me texting. Just ignore and don't share. Uncle Rich says, I'm the youngest thinking member of our Brotherhood board, and it's frustrating. John says, a GED is not the same thing as a college degree. We've discussed this. Uncle Rich says, it's frustrating because we as a board want to do things the old school traditional way, and you can imagine how I react to that. Yes. George says, I got to figure out which button to push. It's hard when you're drunk. There you go. Let's play Name That Player. There we go. Damn commercials. So it's a football edition, modern football, not like ultra modern. This is a shiny San Diego Chargers quarterback. And this is his rookie card. Can you name that player? It is not Ryan Leaf. It is not Phillip Rivers, though both of them were Chargers quarterbacks. We've got a correct answer. It is Charlie Whitehurst. Max with the point. Charlie Whitehurst. Did he go to Purdue? No, he went to Clemson. Who am I thinking of? Charlie Whitehurst. Clemson to San Diego. Max with the point. Let's see. Where are we at? There we go. Max with 32 points. Next up, Breeze. I knew Breeze was Purdue. I thought for some reason Charlie Whitehurst went to Purdue. Another rookie card, another quarterback. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It is not Jameis Winston. It is not Johnson. It is not Sean King. It is not McNabb. I'm going to accept last name only on this one. Last name only. It is not Smith. It is not Garcia or Garcua. It is not McGowan. It is not Mario. I will tell you, the first name has been mentioned. Let's see. It's not McDaniel. It's not Fitzpatrick. It's not Jones. I got to make sure the last name hasn't been mentioned. No. First name has been mentioned. Last name has evaded you. I need the last name on this guy. He went to Kansas State, if that gives you any clue. And then he was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2009. First round pick, 17th overall. It is not Josh McDaniel. It's Freeman, SoCal guy with the point. Josh Freeman. Josh Freeman. John says, Rich got it, question mark. I see Rich with Jones, Garcia. I don't see any other Freemans, unless I missed. Did somebody else say Freeman? Okay, Rich says he did not. Yeah, I didn't see a SoCal guy with the point. Let's see. SoCal guy with 7 points. Next up, not a quarterback. Not a quarterback. Let's see, where's my stickiness? There we go. Yep, I think you're going to be able to see through that. There we go. All right. This is from 2007 Bowman. Arizona Cardinals. Anquan Bolden. Y'all fast. I think Max was the first. Anquan Bolden. Anquan Bolden. Max was the first. And he's at 33 points. All right, next up. Where's Mikey at? Mikey, you've been begging for Indianapolis Colts. Name this guy. Indianapolis Colts. He's from Lamont, Illinois. Went to Stanford. He's a smart guy. Max quickly gets this one. It is Kobe Fleener. Kobe Fleener. Max knows his football. Where are we at? 34 for Max. All right, next up. Next up. Another shiny. We've got the New York Football Giants. This guy was a dude, man. This guy was a stud for the New York Giants. Jeremy Shockey is correct. Max again. Shiny refractor on Jeremy Shockey. Max is pulling away from Rich and Michael. 35, 28, 25. Where is Michael Renicky at this morning? We got more shiny. All right. Hey, Mikey, wake up. Mikey, wake up. I've got another Colt. Actually, shit, I got a lot of Colts. We got 2 more Colts. This one and the next one. Okay. Here we go. Get ready, Mikey. Indianapolis Colts. Joseph Adai is correct. I think Max got it again. Card Safari was quick, but he got the wrong name. Not Reggie Wayne. Joseph Adai. Max with the point. 36 now. All right. Next up. Another Colt. Another Colt. Mikey, got to be fast. Got to be fast. Indianapolis Colts. Not Freeney. Wentz is correct. Max with the point. Max with the point. Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is correct. Ooh, Jim Sorgi. What a good, it's a blast from the past name. 37 for Max. Is he going to sweep? Oh, wait, no. Somebody got, SoCal guy got Josh Freeman earlier. All right. Next up, Minnesota Vikings. I'll just give you the team. You can start naming Minnesota Vikings. I don't think you're going to name this guy. Minnesota Vikings. He's a defensive back. There you go. We've got some names. It's not Carter. Oh, we got a lot of Viking names coming in. Not Randy Moss. Not John Randall. Not Adrian Peterson. It is Smith. It's Harrison. Max with the point. Merle was right behind him. Harrison Smith is correct. Max was first. Merle was second. Steel Cards was third. Mikey fourth. All right. Next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's not Tom Brady. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Can you guess any Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Here we go. Not Warwick Dunn. Not Mike Allstott. Not Warren Sapp. It's not Tom Brady. We've got correct guesses. It is Mike Evans. And I think Max was first again. Yes. Beat out Mikey. Mikey, you were second. Mike Evans. Mike Evans. We've got 3 cards left. Kind of tricky. Oh, I think the last 3 are all names. Are all names that you would know if you're a football fan. All right. Here we go. So this next one's I think is it Panthers? Carolina Panthers. Yes, Carolina Panthers. All right. Carolina Panthers. It is not Cam Newton. It is not Jake Delhomme. It is not Luke Kuechly. It's not Sam Darnold. It's not Christian McCaffrey. It's not Like. It's not Luke. Philly Joe just can't type. It's this guy. Smith is correct. I think Max got it. Was Max first? We got quite a few answers right at the same time. Max was first. Harlan was second. Steel Cards was third. Steve Smith. I think he's a broadcaster now, right? I think that's the same. There's like, how many professional? Steve Smith's got to be like the most common. If your last name is Smith and you have a son, name him Steve, because he's probably going to become a professional athlete. There's Steve Smith NBA players. There's Steve Smith NFL players. Steve Smith. It's like the professional athlete name. Max got it. So he's at 39. 2 points left today. Miami Dolphins. Victor's in the house. Uncle Rich says there's a Steve Smith in every sport who has cards. Steve Smith, coach at Oak Hill, too. Also a plumber's name. Tua. It's not Tua. Let's see. We're looking for a Miami Dolphins player. Not Tua. Not Lamar Smith. Not Ronnie Brown. Not Jason Taylor. Not Hill. Not Jordan. Not Ricky Williams. Not Taylor. All right. I'm going to show you the card. It's this guy. Running back. Miami Dolphins. Let's see. It's not Cox, Marino, Brown, or Adai. It's not Smith. It is a common last name, though. I like where Uncle Rich is going. Uncle Rich, if you keep naming names like that, you're going to get it. It's not Smith Jones. It's not Bernie Parmalee. It's not Johnson. It's not Kirby. It's Miller. It is Lamar. Lamar Miller. There you go. You just needed to guess some common last names. Max with another point. 40 points. Will he get to 41? One more card left today. All right. Next up is a Minnesota Viking. Another Viking. It's not Harrison Smith. Another Minnesota Viking. Not Harrison Smith. Not Harrison Smith. Can you guess some Vikings? It's not Randy Moss. It's not Chris Carter. It's not Ponder. It's not Robert, Thielen, Jones, Favre, Smith, Jefferson, Moss, Thielen. None of those. It's not Favre. It's not Adrian Peterson. It's not Henderson. It's not Toby Gerhart. It's not John Randall. It's not Mick Tinglehoff either. It's Kirk Cousins, Merle with the point. Oh, wait, no. I think Max got it. Or wait. No. I think that dude from Duryea. No, Max.
Let me go see. I think Max was first. All right. So let's go to the chat here. Was not Moss, Carter, Ponder, Cunningham, Hunter, Robert, Thielen, Jones, Favre, Smith, Jefferson, Thielen, Moss, Henderson, Peterson, Randall, Gearhart, Cook, Cousins,
Max. Max got the point. That dude from Duryea and Merle were right behind. Kirk Cousins. There you go. Max with 41 points. 41 points for Max. And I think Max got 12 of the 13 today. SoCal guy got Josh Freeman. So there you go. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to shop my eBay store. By the way, I have now used up all of my monthly auctions. Mikey says I said Kirk. I think you were last. We're just going to take Cousins on that. Yeah, you didn't get it in time either. So Max was first. That dude from Duryea was second, and then Mikey said Kirk, so wouldn't have got it. You were late. What was I saying? Oh, I used up all of my auctions. So last night's batch, had to pay for some auctions last night, and I'll continue paying for auctions. We'll see. You get the insertion fee refunded if your item sells. So I just gotta make sure I list liquid inventory so it sells. So check out all of my auctions, 99centcards.com. On the buy it now section, if you buy 7 or more cards at regular price, you'll save 25% off at checkout. That discount does not apply to auctions. Let's see. Orlando says Orlando is going to be on Hobby Hotline tomorrow morning on the Bench Clear Media channel. Check that out. He's going to be on with Dr. Beckett. Very nice. I will be tuned in. Max says, not Internet Merle. Those years are my wheelhouse. Opened up tons of product during those years. There you go. We will go live tomorrow morning for Hobby Evolution, probably 8:30 Central. No Hobby Evolution on Sunday. I'll be in Janesville. So if you're in the area, come out, see me at the Janesville Card Show on Sunday. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, shop my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Have a wonderful Friday, and we will see you tomorrow morning.